let's go. Hello, my fellow page pamper. My name is Cora. Welcome back to my channel, Pampered Pages, and welcome to my fall book haul. To keep things organized in my noggin, I have created a few categories, and I will also link any previous videos where some of these books are mentioned in greater detail or context in the cards and description. Up first are the books we brought back from the south of France, and in alphabetical order, I have Exquisite French Cuisine, the ABC to Turn French in 60 Recipes, a find by my husband. This cookbook holds a couple personal favorites, and this season has been the perfect time to incorporate some new meals into our rotation. Next, I have How to Solve Your Own Murder by Kristen Perrin. This is the first book in Perrin's Castle Knoll murder mystery series and follows a dual timeline narrative between two individuals, Frances and Annie Adams. Frances is a woman who has pretty much spent almost her entire life trying to prevent a foretold fortune of her own murder from coming true. And for nearly 60-ish years, she almost proves successful. Not a spoiler, while her great niece Annie is left to uncover the truth and catch the killer. First of all, this was a great travel read. The blurb immediately grabbed my attention, and I really enjoyed the dual narrative between the two characters. One is able to learn about Frances through diary entries from the 1960s, which IMO added such an intriguing layer of mystery to both Annie's search and understanding of just who her great aunt Frances was, because she didn't know much. Following, I have Last Chance in Paris by Linda Marin. Per the blurb, it appears one follows a variety of characters whose lives all intertwine in the city of love. I love stories like this, and with Paris as the backdrop, I was like,
you're coming home with me.
Fourth things forth, we brought back this mini coffee table-esque book titled Nice, A Brief History of Architecture. Some personal lore. One of my favorite classes when I was in college was an art history course, and flipping through this little one has brought back a bit of that same spark. It's also been fun to revisit and learn more about some of the places we visited while in Nice. Last but certainly not least, I picked up a copy of The Little Prince in French. Earlier this summer, I found a used copy in English at one of my favorite local used bookstores, and on our trip, I had a personal mission of finding a French edition to hopefully one day be able to read fluently. The latter part of that goal is still a work in progress, but I'm eager to eventually read the English version, hopefully this version, and unearth the message this classic holds. Moving on to my next category, Costco, and I have two titles to share. The first is Mate by Allie Hazelwood. Now, Bride was one of my favorite reads from last year. It was in my top 10, and when I heard that there was going to be a sequel, I immediately knew this title was going to be added to my shelves. I have not read it yet, and while I would love to read Mate before the end of this year, I'm not going to put too much pressure on myself. However, I will say that I would love and high-key anticipate to read it this winter season. Discourse time. I would love to know if you have read Mate. Did you go back and reread Bride or give yourself any refreshers? I have read that Bride definitely sets some context for Mate, but I'd love to know. Also, these spines together, superb. It's giving festivities. It's giving satisfaction. Second, I picked up a copy of The Gingerbread Bakery by Lori Gilmore. This is a title I 110% plan on reading this holiday season. These books have been scrumdiddlyumptious reads, and I am ready for all of the tropes in Annie and Mac's story. Alrighty, on to category number 3. If you watched the DIML where I go to the grand opening of a new Barnes & Noble and meet Sarah Pinner, the majority of these titles will look very familiar. In alphabetical order, I picked up this Sudoku book, and I'm getting close to being halfway through all of my puzzles. This is my jam. It has been such a personally rewarding and cozy hobby to pick back up. Not to mention, I have found it's really helped me when I'm experiencing elevated periods of anxiety. I just pick this up, flip it open to a puzzle, get lost, and feel very satisfied and smart when I finish one. IYKYK, The Lost Apothecary, has been quite a memorable read for me this year, and as you can see, I finally picked myself up a copy, Poisons Not Included. Now, I am very excited for the sequel, prequel, and it was such a joy speaking with Sarah Pinner and being able to briefly discuss information regarding its title and tentative publication date. And the last title I picked up that day was The Ministry of Time by Colleen Bradley. This is said to be a time travel romance, spy thriller, workplace comedy that explores the nature of power and the potential for love to change it all. Sitting very high on my mentally curated TBR this holiday season, I am very eager to jump in and explore the various elements within. Now, I do have one more Barnes & Noble find from a recent bookish date with my husband, The Little Paris Bookshop by Nina George. In this story, one follows literary apothecary Monsieur Perdue, who prescribes books from his floating bookstore on the Seine. However, the only person he cannot seem to heal is himself. What remains of his once great love is a single letter which he's yet to open. Finally, temptation gets the better of him, and after opening the letter, he hauls anchor and sets forth on a mission to the south of France with hopes to make peace with his loss and discover the end to the story. Sounds right up my emotional alley, and on a recent library adventure, I did discover that there is a companion piece titled The Little Village of Book Lovers, and if I enjoy this one, I can definitely see myself checking that out as well. My final category is gifts, and it includes one single title, The Little Frog's Guide to Self-Care. This was a gift from my sister, and every day I try to flip it open to a random page, kind of like a daily positive message. Speaking of which, here is today's. Try to find something that you love and look forward to in each season. The way that the air smells in autumn, or how the winter months give us the opportunity to cozy up and go inward. The way that every spring it feels like the world is waking up from a deep sleep, or how summer is always so vibrant and full of life. Finding ways to embrace each of the seasons gives us something to feel good about any time of year, even if it's small. How fitting. I keep this on my nightstand and I truly love it. So if you're my sister and you're watching, thank you.
Love you, Bill.
Bonus category time, my current library checkouts, and I'm just going to rapid fire these. Up first, I have A Novel Love Story by Ashley Poston. Cannot wait to jump into more of her writing. Second is How to Seal Your Own Fate by Kristen Perrin. This is the second book in her Castle Knoll murder mystery series. I was so excited when it jumped out at me, because as you know, I recently finished How to Solve Your Own Murder. Up third is Last Christmas in Paris by Hazel Gaynor and Heather Webb. This is my current emotion destroyer read. And then finally fourth, I picked up The 12 Dates of Christmas by Jenny Bayless. This sounds cutesy, humorous, and festive, all of which I'm very much vibing with at this current moment in time. So cheers. As always, thank you so much for watching. I hope each of you have a beautiful day, and I look forward to hopefully seeing you soonish. Bye!